Right guys, I've stuck a wee video on, it's going to come up after this, and it's just to reiterate that if this video was made about XP, Nocta, C-Scope, any brand out there, I would have defended it, because I feel that's an absolute shame what's happening. Honestly, I've been about a long time, and I was actually quite dumbfounded with that, especially for somebody that's made thousands and thousands of finds with these machines. And I've got stories about loads and loads of different makes and different models over the years that I've used, and I thoroughly enjoyed using most of them. So what I'm saying in this video, I use, people that know me know I use all makes and models. I love metal detectors, so it didn't matter who it was in the video, what company, I would have defended it. Alright, because I think it was a disgrace what was said in the video with somebody totally inexperienced. Alright, so I hope you enjoy the video. Please like and subscribe and give me some of your feedback, good and bad, what you think. As I say, I'm going to be my experience, nothing else, just my experience, long time using these machines. So that's what I'm going with. Know what it says in a bit of paper, or know what somebody else says in a YouTube channel that's hardly used them. Alright, over and out. Alright guys, it's Toddy here from Metal Detecting Scotland. Firstly, just to let you know, I'm an absolute metal detecting fanatic. If you don't know me, I've been detecting for 30 odd years. I'm based in Scotland. I run metal detecting digs. I run a metal detecting shop. I do underwater metal detecting, land metal detecting, beach metal detecting, and I have done all over the world. I've used most makes because being a machine geek and a machine fanatic, I've been posting videos on YouTube for 15 years, and just through work and family life you can't always post videos. So machines, I've used Minelab, Whites, XP, Garrett, Bliss Tool, I've used Detector Pro, I've used Nocta, what else? Nexus, Coin Shooter. I've used every make. I've imported machines. I was probably one of the first to import pulse induction machines in 2005 from America to use for relic hunting. As I say, I've used every make, and do you know why? Because I love machines. I love trying new machines. The hobby would get really boring for me if it didn't have a variety of metal detectors and a variety of different styles of machines. That's just what I love. I love that about the hobby. So I want to comment about New York Detecting's video. The guy's made a video, and to be honest, his inexperience showed right through. I'm going to be talking about experience, actual in-field experience here in Scotland. We dig finds going back to Neolithic. As I say, I've run digs for many years in clubs, so I've seen many people on fields. I'm talking hundreds and hundreds, maybe thousands of people. I've ran some of the biggest events in Scotland. I've attended some of the biggest events in Britain over the years, rallies. I've been part of some of the biggest metal detecting forums over the years in the UK, and many discussions were on machines, their abilities. I've seen a lot of this before, this hatred towards a brand and a brand bashing. I've seen that, and it's not fair in any brand, a metal detector. And what's happened is this guy's just read something, put 2 and 2 together and come up with 5. Right, you can look at stuff on paper and it means absolutely nothing, mate. I've read all sorts of stuff about machines and they've performed better or worse, right, with all brands. But I'm going to tell you just now, I'm going to tell you a couple of stories. These are true stories. I've got a book out, and that book was out before this guy's video, and these stories are in that book, alright? So if you want to cross-reference it to prove that I'm telling the truth, they're in my book, which has been out for over a year, maybe a year and a half. So it's in there, Metal Detecting in Scotland by Toddy Irvine. The first story is, years ago, before Facebook, before YouTube, there was groups called Community Zero. I was part of the original Minelab owners group, and then a breakaway, well, tell a lie, before it was a breakaway group, it was a Minelab owners group, and I was part of that group with my friend Sammy, and we owned Minelab Sovereign XS2A Pros, right? Minelab machines, early Minelab BBS machines, broadband spectrum. So we used these for a couple of years, and then fortunately enough, we were out in a field one day in Scotland and we hit a hoard of coins for the 1300s, Edward pennies. So what we done is, we had watt coils on it, which was coil type watt coils, which meant wonderful orange things. This was probably one of their first coils they brought out, and it was for the Sovereign, and it was very sensitive. They were 15 inches, and the hoard was in a very small area, maybe 40 feet by 40 feet. We used lines and pins, we done everything. We searched every inch of that bit of grass, and it was a grass field, and we searched it every single inch, and I mean, not a bit was missed. There was actually, we wore the grass out, we were on it that much. So we posted the finds, I posted the finds on the Minelab owners group, and there was a guy on it, Russell Fergs, and he says to me, do any of your mates own an Explorer? Now the Explorer XS was just out, and it was a funky looking machine. It was creamy white, and it had a white coil. Didn't look like the standard metal detectors, it actually looked like a space age machine. Fortunately enough, Jimmy, who was one of the guys that was with us, Jimmy Smith, he had bought one and he'd brought it out previously, and he obviously had the sensitivity full on, and the thing was going crazy, and we just looked at it and went, no, it's not for us, because it just looked far too complicated. The sounds, if you ever heard an Explorer XS on smooth tones, as they call it in the CTX, it was long. It was actually, what is it? I don't even know what they call it now, I forget. It's smooth, and it was like a broad woo woo. It was like, honestly, it was like something out of a space age movie. Anyway, I phoned Jimmy and I says, look, any chance you could bring that Explorer? There's a guy on the Minelab group gave me settings for it, and I'm going to use it to search the hoard area. Now we had searched it, we had 20 odd hammered coins at it, and it was nothing, not a whisper of a signal. Right? Took the Minelab Explorer on it. Now, the reason I'm telling you this is, if you probably look up that same list that I'm putting on next, then it was spoke about with New York Detecting, about the 30 dBs or whatever it is the Sovereign would probably say the same as the Explorer, right?
% more power, and then you see.
So, maybe one of you guys has got the manuals out there, you can check it, but I'll guarantee you it probably says the same. Alright, so the Sovereign with big 15-inch coils, no more hammered, no more signals, no more whispers. Puts the settings in the Explorer, walks on the field, follows instructions to noise cancel it. Done that, took 2 steps and hit a hammered coin. Took another 2 steps, hit another hammered coin, and I mean, they were blowing my ears off. I managed to pull out 18 hammered coins in about 2 hours. Honest, it was phenomenal. We were absolutely blown away with the power for this thing. So the next day, we traded the Sovereigns in with Detectnics Limited, and we bought Sovereigns. So, Explorers. So that tells you that whatever it says on a bit of paper means absolutely nothing in real life conditions, right? So that was a eureka moment for me in metal detecting. I'd never experienced anything like it, as much a depth difference. And now these machines only had standard 11-inch coils on, so that's how good a machine that was. So the Sovereigns instantly became obsolete to us, and we became Explorer users from day one, right? So that's lesson one, story one. So if I can find the manual for a Sovereign, and if it says 30 dBs, and the same with the Explorer XS, 30 dBs, then you know whatever's wrote in that bit of paper's absolute balderdash, right? The next story is, any of the guys watching this video that know me and Rab, my mate Rab, we've been Minelab GPX 5000 users for many years, alright? I've used many pulses over the years. I've used the Garrett Infinium, which was an excellent machine. I've used Garrett underwater pulses. I've got a Garrett ATX up there, Garrett ATX pulse. I've tried them all, okay? And the two best in my book is the Garrett and the Minelab, okay? So the Minelab GPX in this sheet of paper still comes up the same as the Manticore. It comes up the same as the Nox 800. And I am telling you this right now, that GPX is the deepest thing you have ever seen in your life on mineralized ground.
Percent more power, and then you see.
We have proven it 100 times. We actually go out where guys have searched fields for a hoard, they've cleaned it out, and we go over it with the GPXs and pull the same amount of coins out as they got originally. One guy says to us, listen, you will get nothing. And he's probably watching this video, Marty, and he had found a hoard in Ayrshire. Me and Rab went down and we pulled 17 hammered coins out in an hour, and they'd covered it with everything. We found a hoard up at Loch Leven, hammered coins again, 50 detectors, maybe more, searching every inch of this bit of field. Cleaned it out, my mate Rab came up with the GPX and started pulling coins out everywhere, right? Because it goes deeper on mineralised ground. So it's all to do with mineralisation in the ground and how a machine can get through it. That's the difference.
I was saying, I've never felt so many these in my life. That was one jump and it looks like it's been quite deep because it's darker, he says, eh? That's how we got Rab into his deep detector.
Nice. But just look about the ground, the one I found was just sitting there.
I don't mind it. Hear it? He's wanting in, look. Is that fucking thing working? Was it working? Aye. Won't be another one yet, It is. Yes, you seen the detector. Oh man, look at that.
That's a
Well
pitch,
done. Nice one as
beautiful.
well. Say,
Look at the depth
I
here.
know.
Must have been
Right.
at 10, 15 inches. Many's that, Tony?
16.
Unearthed after 800 years.
What is that? What's that?
It's an Edward.
An Edward, that one. Beautiful.
Unearthed after all these years.
So if Minelab have come up with a way to see through that mineralisation better, with better processors or filtration or filters, then that would equate to finding smaller stuff deeper, which a pulse induction machine does. So I've been using the Manticore, and I've used it. My mate's got a 900, my other mate's got an 800. They have no hammered coins, we're on the same field, and I've got 5 hammered coins. So I'm not saying that's not just down to luck, that's down to me finding them. Do you know what I mean? That's down to me finding the coins. The machine's seeing them. So what I'm saying is, what you're literally doing with making your video, mate, is trying to find, as I say, add 2 and 2 together and come up with 5. Your inexperience of Minelab metal detectors is showing through, and you're actually making a fool of yourself. You're genuinely making a fool of yourself making that video. There's guys here, been Minelab users for 20 odd years, that's seen the difference in the progress in machines, and that video you've made is just showing your inexperience. So go out and start using the machines and enjoying your metal detecting, because I'm on here as a detectorist of all brands and all makes to put my side up through 35 years metal detecting experience, most of them with Minelab metal detectors. So from Toddy here in Scotland, a metal detecting fanatic, over and out.